I don't know if are you speaking to me?
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much. It will be very, very unfair for anybody to just say that the issue of Benue, the issue of Plateau, the issue of Edo is the community versus House of Fulani. I think that is uncomplimentary to say so, bringing to a whole community. A single largest community in Nigeria because the House of Fulani are the single largest community in the whole of this country. If you look at in terms of landscape and population, it, I think it is a very dangerous trend. Yes, there are a certain level of those involved in that attack, and then just 2 days ago, I listened to an interview by one of the citizens of Edo State where he narrated how the people of Edo themselves kidnapped his uncle, demanded for money, and they were paid. And eventually, some of them were arrested. And it was discovered that there was no Fulani man involved, neither was there any Hausa man involved. It was purely Edo citizens that were kidnapping their own people, dressed in the northern attire, just to deceive their own people to make it look as if they are the Hausa Fulani, so to say. That is a direct confirmation of what is really going on. We have also seen situations where a lot of these were made, even in the Benue state itself, where you discover that they are the citizens of the Benue themselves that were perpetrating this act, but hiding under the guise of the Fulanis, to be precise, not really the House of Fulani, if you even want to put it that way. So it is the generally the issue of insecurity has affected everywhere. Like I said, so many arrests were made in the past. If you look at Benue itself, there were so many arrests that were made in the past. Then you discover that 60% of the arrests that were made are citizens of the states themselves, that not those that either come for those on transit or those that come for searching for greener pasture, so to say, in terms of maybe the House of Fulanis, the Fulanis to be precise, that are moving there searching for greener pasture for their cattle and what have you. So if you look at it critically, that is what is going on. The Plateau or Bokos and the Riom and other part of the country that is under investigation. But also, if you look at it, also in the past, we had situations where arrests were made, and it was discovered that they are the locals, the citizens of Plateau, not the Fulani themselves, that were involved in this thing. So that was why I say it would be uncomplimentary for anybody to say it is House of Fulani that are doing this, because so many arrests have been made in the past, and I keep on repeating this because of its importance. They were the locals, the citizens, the local communities of the state, the tribes of the state, the citizens of the state, not the houses or the Fulanis that were found or arrested in most cases. So it is an issue of terrorism. It is an issue of poverty. It is issue of the country. It is issue of unemployment. It is issue of people who are criminally minded, that wish to perpetrate crime, that wish to make the community unbearable, ungovernable, uninhabitable, just for them to get what they want. I think this is the way we should be looking at it, not profiling a tribe or profiling a region or profiling a certain people to say that they are the ones perpetrating the act. While investigation is
All
ongoing,
right.
I'm sure
Thank
a
you
lot
very
of
much,
arrests will be made
Doctor. Because of time,
we
we'll come back to you, Dr. Owl. We'll come back to you, but let's go to Dr. Francis in Benue State. I'm sure he has been listening to you and would want to react to some of your comments. Some would want to agree that it's not an issue of maybe profiling, but it's just a pattern, so to speak. But our correspondent, Francis Telemoon, is live with our guest. Dr. Francis, good morning and thanks for coming on the show. Hello, Dr. Francis, are you there? live with our guest. Hello, Dr. Francis. I'm great. Good to have a show. What is your reaction to of
yes, I can hear you.
Hausa Fulanese versus the community? Please go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead, doctor.
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Francis.
I can hear you
clearly. Please go ahead. Hello, Dr. Francis. Can you hear me? What is your reaction to All right, please go ahead with your thoughts and update us on what's going on in Benue.
The issue of insecurity in Benue State. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead with your thoughts.
It's not funny at all. The insecurity in Benue State. We have purely Fulani issue, particularly in my local government. They sent their cows in front to go destroy people's farm, and they have their militia at the back. I wonder, people say it's Fulani farmers headers clash. That is purely a lie. Where they clash, when two communities confront themselves. But the issue in Benue State, the issue in Benue State is purely a sick genocide. Where we don't know who are fighting us. The Fulani who are fighting us are resident in Rukobi in Nasarawa State. They employ asymmetric warfare. Where they come, they attack, they ambush, they raid. In fact, about all the 15 council wards in my local government are invaded and sent out of their houses, and 12 local governments in Benue State. So the issue in Benue State is not the issue of a group and a group confronting each other. But I observe that is a systemic way of exterminating a people in order to occupy their lands.
All right, thank you for your thoughts there, Dr. Francis. So in terms of government accountability, I'm aware that Governor Francis Aliyah visited Gwa West, and there were reported killings on Sunday in Naka. Is the governor practically helpless? What do you think can be done to solve this lingering problem? Hello, Dr. Francis, are you there? Hello, Dr. Francis.
Mono, it looks like we're having some technical issues with Dr. Francis. I could hear some echo on his side. I wish he toned down the volume of his TV set so it doesn't look like he's listening to himself. It's causing a whole lot of feedback in the studio. perhaps you may reconnect with him. But thank you so much. Let's get back to Edo State. Mono, we'll come back to you. Let's bring back our guests in Edo, Collins and, of course, Ogbeide. We are looking the way forward now. How do we reconcile with all of this? And then how best should government handle this? Zoe, yeah, you were talking about some of these things.
Yes, I wanted us to go back to the issue of vigilantism, So, Obede, this question is for you. I'm talking about, obviously, part of the reason why vigilante outfits have been set up was to kind of bridge the gap between security forces, the inadequacies of security, enforcement in some of these areas. Now, what more do you think should be done or can be done in order to properly train? Because obviously, in the case of the Uromi killings, it was obvious that they were probably overwhelmed by the mob. They were not able to handle the situation by themselves. So whether that was an issue of training or the lack of it, that's debatable. But what can we do? Do we bring them into, do we conscript willing volunteers into, say, the police force or into some other legally set up security outfit? What do we do so we don't keep having challenges like this where they seem to be taking the law into their own hands and then administer what you would then call jungle justice? How do we go about bridging this gap?
Thank you very much. And before I answer your question, allow me explain very properly to the Dr. Awa, who I think got my opinions, maybe rubbed off on him in a different way. And forgive me for feeling that he was pandering to the North, and that's not why I'm here. But the issue is this. I did not say or condemn Governor Pevolo for going to Katsina, for going to Kano. What he did was the right thing to do. My thoughts were that he was neglecting the Edo people that he was elected to lead. Yes, you've gone to appeal and appease those who feel hurt. What of those who have been crying for several weeks and months of killings and raping of their women in their farmlands? Who's going to address those people? Who's going to talk to their families? Those that have lost livelihoods, who's going to address them too? So all I was saying was that, yes, it was good to talk to those who feel hurt in the North, but go home too and talk to your people who elected you to lead them. That is your primary role, to secure them and to provide for their welfare. So that he's not doing, and that's what I was trying to address. Number two, the issue is still being investigated. How Dr. Awal came to his conclusion that he was 100% sure that they were hunters beats me hollow. Why are you going to make such a conclusion when there's no report to show that these people were actually hunters? I mean, let's fix culpability where it is. Anybody who's traveling with weapons at such a time where there's a rampant insecurity across Nigeria, it calls for suspicion. And so if those people are not able to express themselves or give cogent reasons why they're moving with arms, people may fall into the consciousness of wanting to harm them, especially when they do not trust the police. This is the same police that they've gone to report to several times of their villages being ravaged and their women being killed, and nothing appears to be done. So how do you expect them to trust the same police? On the issue of him wanting to blame local communities or citizens for this crisis we have, please, let us call a spade a spade. Today is not the first time, but this is not the first time we're having to have sustained killings of people that were suspected to be Fulani herders. I mean, locals in the Edo community don't move around with cattle. They don't move around with AK-47. So if you're talking about kidnapping, to an extent, that's on one side. But if we're talking about the invasion of communities, certain communities are ablaze with the hope of acquiring those communities. Let's fix capability where it is, pretending like it doesn't exist. The Edo Security Network was a legal network enshrined by the Edo State House of Assembly 2 years ago. So it was not an illegal platform. And these volunteers were trained by the Nigerian police force at the Ogida Barracks on Siloko Road. So they were properly trained and they were given certificates of training before they were given weapons. We didn't hear of this illegal vigilante, while we were in government, because those who were conscripted to the vigilante network were trained, and we knew who these people were. So they were not illegal. And that is why I told in my last piece that the Edo Security Network was suspended or disbanded by the IG of police. And since then, they have not been called back. So those who are operating now, we don't know where they've got the trainings from. It was normal for people to be upset when they see invaders or strangers, let me use the word strangers, passing through their communities with weapons. This is the same community that a few days before people were killed in the village, in the farmlands, and women were raped. What do you expect them to think? What is the connection between Port Harcourt and Kano traveling by road, passing through Uromi? Uromi is not a route. Uromi is not a route for travelers from Port Harcourt to Kano. So you can't blame the people to some extent for wondering where the people came from. That is the truth. And after that, there has been killings in Obia Northeast, there's been killings in Awa West, there's been killings in Isako, there's been killings in Oriomo, all across the states. And you're asking us to, please, it's becoming annoying and irritating that the Uromi killings is getting widespread condemnation, but the sustained killing of local people is not getting enough audience, it's not getting enough condemnation. How is that supposed to be fair? People are still, even yesterday, there was an attack yesterday in Abia Northeast. Has the governor gone there to visit them? Has he made a public statement condemning the attack? This is what the people are worried about. So I have no issues at all with the government going ahead to appeal or to pay compensation. Who's going to compensate those who were killed in Uromi? Who's going to compensate those who were killed in Isako? Is there no government to compensate them too? If you're compensating those who feel hurt in Kano, compensate those who voted for you too, who have lost their lives and lost their livelihoods. That's the normal thing to be done. So it is not an issue of, we're not trying to politicize this. Let what is fair be fair. In the last administration, we had a sophisticated command and control center where we had emergency control numbers 739 and 112, such that any Edo person anywhere in Edo State could call 739 or call 112, and you will get someone to answer your call, and help is deployed immediately. We had stationed in different parts of the states men of the security agencies who were helping to respond to the security situation. Okay. The moment this governor came in, he disbanded that security network. So 739 or 112 no longer
I think it would be fair for us to have callings to kind of balance
if
the
vigilante
conversation.
officers in Uromi had that 739 and immediately they called the command and control center, they got some help. Help will have been deployed faster. So insecurity lies on the lack of leadership across the country, and the Edo State government must take its fair share of it. We thank him for what he has tried to do, but there's a whole lot more he has not done. I will tell him too that he has not done that.
Because of time, Ifalu, would have to hold you for just a second. All right, thank you for making your point. Okay, if we can have call-ins, Dr. Awal, I will come to you shortly because you're the security expert, so we're talking solutions now. Okay, do we have call-ins live with us? Okay, while we work on getting Collins to answer and give his own rebuttal to some of the comments by Faluyi, Dr. Awal, let's talk solutions. What is the way forward in all of this? You can understand the plight that Mr. Ifaluyi has made mention of, the fact that the governor doesn't really seem to care about their own people within the state who have been killed by some of these persons, who have attacked their communities. But what is the way forward for you? What do you think can be done? Because there seems to be a miscommunication, or there is no synergy. These are human beings killing and lynching one another. So there has to be a way to harmonize and synergize with individuals, because we are all human beings. So what is your professional solution, Dr. Awal?
Well, thank you very much. Just a word or two before I go to the solution. of the governor not attending to the people of Edo when it comes to life destruction and then property destruction. I recall I had to follow up on the activities of the Ghana security wise. I remembered one incident that a small girl was killed. I think it's either in Benin City or thereabout, and that the governor took the matter seriously. He even went to the family home of that little girl and console with the members of the family, and then stage a manhunt for those who actually did the killing, something like that. I recall that was just about a month or a month and a half ago that happened in Edo State, and the governor took that action. I'm not from Edo, I don't live in Edo, but I did a follow up out of this the Uromi 16, just to know the activities of the governor, kind of a background search in terms of security, to see the effort or the or otherwise of the governor himself. And I saw that one very well, which
Don't you think that the
go ahead.
security structure is not firm enough? Because this is the same governor that suspended local government chairmen. And as local government chairmen, they have a responsibility to protect the lives of people. So do you think that this is a backlash from that decision to suspend local government chairmen?
Well, yes, if you look at that critically, I'm a security analyst, but that has a little of political inclination. But be that as it may, I will have to speak about it since it entails the security of lives and property of the people. Possibly can also boomerang to having certain level of effect in two ways. One, either a deliberate attempt to make the governor look bad and his administration look bad. That can happen behind the scene. Two, it could also could have been for the community to now realize there is no chief executive officer in local government that could quickly summon and take action, and also possibly direct the security agencies at the very local community to act. So therefore, the criminals are having their day based on that circumstances. So you have it in two ways, like I earlier said. That is that talking about the disbandment or the suspension of a trained local vigilantes. Like I said earlier, the local vigilantes usually go beyond their boundary, but that is also not to say that they are not useful. There are certain levels where they assist the community in security-wise. So it's more like a 40-60 situation. 60% of their performance would be appreciated, while the 40% is where they go beyond their boundaries and did what constitutionally is not right, by applying their selfish interest in it. Or be that as it may, it is better to have the local vigilante, to train local vigilante, guided and then directed on what to do, and also to assist in trying to prevent security breach than not having them at all. I heard when there was a press release that I read from the secretary to the state government, which is this is representing the government of Edo State, that speaks about the disbandment of all this, the present. The local arrangement of the security vigilante, which the governor says they are not aware of it and they are not operating under the government, which is to say that it's locally arranged, more like an NGO or an organization that is recruiting people to go and then provide security or whatever. Under that circumstances, to be fair to the people of Edo State, I think there is need to keep politics aside. If the former governor has truly trained the vigilantes, and they were well trained and they were working, and like the former commissioner was calling hot call numbers, where if you have security challenge, you can call and then action will be taken. I think the present governor needed to reconsider that position, maybe reach out to the IG of police to reapprove that body, possibly with a little reorganization if it's not too comfortable with the activities of the vigilante, he can rearrange it and then retrain them also. They are citizens of Edo, whether they are
Indeed,
they are trained
indeed,
by the
Dr.
former
Ali.
governor or they are trained with the present governor. They are citizens of Edo. They have a responsibility
Indeed,
to
Dr.
protect
Ali.
lives and property
Indeed.
of Edo citizens.
Indeed, Dr. Ali, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I wish we can go on. This conversation on the state of insecurity in Nigeria cannot, be consummated in one sitting. Our time is so fast spent, and I really wish we can go on, but this is the size we can accommodate on this front burner. Thank you so much, the war veteran. Thank you so much for bringing in the security
Thank you for
expert
having me.
in you, and we do hope that we will be able to, continue this conversation, subsequently, and you guys come back and we take it further. And the Honorable Commissioner, former Commissioner for Digital Economy, Science and Technology, Ubeide Ifalu Yesibo, thank you so much. I know you are so loaded and you want to continue, but there will be other opportunities, and then we'll bring you back. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we also had Collins Osagai, who is the media aide to Monday Okpebolo, the governor of Edo State, and former aide to Adams Oshiomhole, also earlier on this conversation, as well as the retired director of education, former chairman, Gwa West Local Government Area of Benue State. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Subsequently, we'll bring a part 2 of this conversation. Zoe, this is the size we can accommodate on the front burner.
It's been very insightful, but one conclusion that we come away with is that the issue of security is a holistic approach that has to be applied. It cannot be left for one person or two persons or an organization or even government alone. As much as everyone has their role to play, everyone has to play their roles.
Absolutely. And some of the pointers that came out of this conversation include the root causes, such as the proliferation of vigilante groups and the weakness of a judicial system in Nigeria. So much coming out of it. All right. It's been a very insightful conversation on the front burner on the Uromi 16 killings. More of it to come on LN 24/7 in the days ahead. Keep watching. We'll take another break right now on This Morning and bring you the morning updates in news. And then we'll return with yet another interesting conversation on something that borders on Africa from United States of America, from President Donald J. Trump. And that's talking about the trade tariffs. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay up to date with LN